think I've been a bit too serious, so we are going to have a song now.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. We cannot change it. We cannot conceptualize it. We have to know it. For example, today science has become our God. But you can't know truth through science. It may solve some problems one by one, but it is not conclusive. It doesn't reach you anywhere. It has created this problem. As you know, the conference in Rio, from where Gregor has come just now, and he's telling me the story that they don't know what to do, how to solve the problem. Then the violence. It cannot stop violence because it is amoral. It has no morality with it. It doesn't tell you how to transcend. He doesn't tell you that you are a spirit. He doesn't know. You can say, it does not know what is the soul. It does work out in a way, but I must say Sahaja Yoga works out much faster, in a much simpler way. And if you take to Sahaja Yoga, you'll be convinced, despite all your conditionings and cynicism, that Sahaja Yoga is the meta-science, is above science. How? With Sahaja Yoga, once you get your realization, automatically you get cured. Automatically. This Kundalini, which is your mother, individual mother, she rises, passes through these centers, and these centers are the basics within us. Because when they are in jeopardy, you get all these troubles, sicknesses, cancer, all kinds of incurable diseases, all kinds of mental troubles, and spiritual problems due to wrong seeking. I have seen people in England itself. So many of them got rid of their drug addiction overnight with Kundalini awakening. It is their own power which has worked it out. It does work. There are 3 doctors in Delhi University who have got their MD in curing incurable diseases. We have people definitely suffering from all kinds of problems of muscular disabilities or cancers of various types, even AIDS, I would say. It has worked wonders with that, no doubt. It works. How? There's another science beyond this science. There's another world beyond this world, which we do not know, about which all the saints have told us. The vision of that great life is described by a great seer, we call it a drashta, a great visionary, William Blake of this country. He said the sleeping Albion, the sleeping country, has to awake and arise. That was not imagination. That was his real penetration into the reality which he described. But science cannot go into that dimension. That exists for all of us. But we are so conditioned that we cannot accept it, that such a thing can exist. I don't know when it started, the deviation, maybe Galileo's invention of a telescope, maybe, I don't know what happened, that people started giving up philosophy and taking to science, to economics. And now everything has become nothing but economics and money. Everything. You can't find truth by paying. But one has to think. There must be something else, otherwise, are we all going to be destroyed by these unlimited endeavors we have in all kinds of destructive areas? Science was all right to begin with, but it has no limitation. It doesn't keep to that point where now we have started derailing into our destruction. Where have we gone wrong? We have no control, we have no discretion. So people turn, say, to religion. No, religion is also, as you know, is a farce, because it is also money-oriented or it is power-oriented. It is not at all spirit-oriented. No religion is now today. Take any religion, whether they like it or not. Of course, the prophets, the incarnations, the seers, the saints, sages, all of them knew the truth. They were absolutely there where we have to go. But later on, people thought it is not reality. What we discover through science is reality, if it is so. Why such problems are coming to us? Why all our enterprises are boomeranging on us? We don't even realize that we are becoming now slaves of this so-called modern scientific world. We can't calculate 2 plus 2. Also, it's very surprising that we do not realize how we are playing into the hands of entrepreneurs. My granddaughters were with me in Italy, and they wanted to buy some nice long skirts, because they are still, you see, not so much sophisticated. And you'll be surprised, no shop had any skirts of that kind. They had now only of 6 inches and 8 inches. Because somebody, some mad person, must have taken out this idea in Paris And we have to wear those dresses, otherwise we are not in. People will laugh at you. If you wear long dresses in this cold, imagine, especially in England. What's the sense in wearing these short dresses? I can't understand. I can understand in a place on the equator where it's so hot. Nonsensical inventions come out and we think, oh, it's great because it is new. What are we going to do with these telescopes? What is the need to go to the moon? What did you achieve? Did you solve the problem of poverty in our country? Wasted so much money. So there is an inborn force in all our adventures which tries to bring us down, put us down. Now this ecological problem is another. That's a force, inner force, which is working out and teaching us. Sickness is another. When you do things which are not natural, go to the extremes, sickness comes in. There's no discretion, there's no direction. We do not know what is our future is. Now, science has discovered DNA. Of course, scientists are quite shocked by that. It's a big question mark for them. But they'll go to DNA, they'll try to find out what was the origin of man. What is the need to know the origin of man? We should know the future of man now. If you know what is the origin, what are you going to gain out of that? Have we to become now animals or have we to become something higher? In this great country of England, there have been great seers who have talked about, who have wrote about the great visions they had about the English, the Wales, the Scots. But they were considered as mad people because our conditionings are such that we don't think it is mad to become punk or to become a hippie. We don't think that way. The other day I saw a gentleman with big holes in his pant. I asked him, what's this going on? He said, it's a holy pant, H-O-L-Y. And I said, but mister, this holy pant will give you some sort of trouble because it's a very cold country. No, we are having a holy pant. To dress up funnily, to make your hair in a funny way, is that the way you are going to change yourself inside? What is the reason why we cannot solve our ecological problem? Is the human being. He has to transform himself. And when he is transformed, the first thing which happens to him, that he becomes collectively conscious. You start feeling others. On your fingertips you can feel others. Their centers you can feel others. And an upsurge of compassion, upsurge. I went to Russia and I was surprised in Russia that so many German Sahajogis flew to help me out. So surprised at them. I said, you've given up jobs or what? No, we have taken leave and come. I said, why? Mother, don't you think it's our responsibility? What our forefathers have done, we have to rectify, we have to help them. We talk of democracy, this liberal democracy. Churchill himself has said that is the worst type of government is democratic. But I don't know anything of better, so better have it. All these things make you abnormal when you have so many choices. Choices of what? Choices of clothes, choices of food, choices of these stones and ashes. What about the choice of our future life? What about the progeny that is going to come? What are we going to give them? Plastics? Then some people, intelligent, you have to have a superior type of intelligence. Think about it. There must be some solution. So they become seekers. William Blake has said, he called them men of God, and they will seek, and they will become divine, and they'll make others divine. He's prophesied it. All his prophecies can be absolutely executed, can be manifested in this great country of Great Britain. But first we should get out of our conditionings. The first conditioning is that anything which comes from East is stupid. While anything that comes from West is the best. Of course, one has to learn about science, one has to learn about so many things. There are so many good things about West. But if in the East there is something good, after all, we human beings only separate East, West, North, South, black, white, this, that. God does not. So if there is something that is going to nourish our roots, whether it comes from East, North, South, anywhere, why not take it? Whatever is good for our benevolence, why not accept it? All right, then people came out with these ideas. And I'm sorry to say, from our India, lots of horrible people were exported. And thousands joined these hypocritical people. But for Sahaja Yoga, no. Because what is the basic difference in Sahaja Yoga and any other nonsensical thing like that is that here you cannot pay, you have to become. What is important is what you become. You cannot become member of Sahaja Yoga. You cannot. We do not have any organization like that. You have to become yourself. And there is divinity all within yourself. I verily say to you that don't condemn yourself. By no means you are at the epitome of evolution. And what you have to get is just humble down and see for yourself that in your heart resides the Spirit. And you have all the divinity, all the powers which are above this science. For a diagnosis of a person, they will kill that person with that diagnosis in the medical profession. But in Sahaja Yoga, anybody can tell you what's wrong with you on the fingertips. It's a fact. It's the truth. But how many years it is going to take for people to accept the truth? As it is, I have been here for 18 years. Now this is the 19th year I am running. Whatever one may say, what Marx has done, Marxism, one has to ask question, he could have been right in some ways. When I went to Russia, I did feel that one thing he did was take out the attention of people from materialism. It's a fact. We always had 16,000, 20,000 people. And in one place called Taliati, there are 20,000 Sahaja Yogis practicing Sahaja Yoga. One day this Russia will be the greatest country, if not India. If we have lost our soul, if we have lost our connection with that divine power which is the power of God Almighty, then what are we going to be left with? What are we going to be? Drug addicts, AIDS, homosexuals, this nonsense, that nonsense? We should have our self-esteem. We must know that God has not created us to be wasted like this. This is the first time I have allowed them to show some of these pictures. Because I know the mind here is so clever that they can cheat themselves. They start saying, oh, this must be arranged, this must be organized. For what should we arrange and organize? Logically. We are well-off people. We have nothing to gain from you. We don't need any money. The people now who have come to Sahaja are angelic people. You will be surprised. We have no difference of races, no difference of religion, no difference of nationality and all these things that create problems. We believe in all the prophets and all the religions, but we do not hate any religion. We are not fundamentalists. That's why all the fundamentalists are angry with us. Because how dare you love all the religions? Because they are all one. Fundamentally they are one, which you can understand once you get your realization. After realization you can feel the truth on your fingertips. And you can find out all these people who they were. Christ himself has said, those who are not against me are with me. Who are those? All this fundamentalism has created the problem today, and that is the greatest problem, as good as ecological problem, I think. We have people from all the religions, as I told. And the compassion and love that they have. I have never seen them fighting, quarreling, hitting, violent, abusing. Such decent, beautiful citizens they have become, honest. We all have to be like that. Only thing, you must know your own powers. You must know what you are. And the truth is that you are the spirit. You are not this body, not this mind. You are the spirit, which you have to become. And another truth is that there is an all-pervading power, which you may call by any name, like Ru, like the all-pervading power of divine love, or Brahma Chaitanya, call by any name, is there. You have to just get connected with it. All the power starts flowing through you. Do you mean to say that all these great saints and incarnations and prophets were telling us lies? But not just reading their books, not by reciting their names, just by being fundamentalist, but by becoming a realized soul, that you understand every one of them. You integrate within yourself and without. Tomorrow I am going to tell you what the Spirit works out in you when you get your self-realization. And also we'll have a session of self-realization. Today not, tomorrow. First, you just don't be thinking about it, arguing about it. You cannot argue, it is beyond your mind. Aristotle did say that there is a world beyond the moon and one below the moon. We live in the below the moon. But there is another world beyond, which we have to know. All of you have the right to know. And Sahaj means born with you, is the right to get union with that all-pervading power, is your birthright, and you all can have it. So why not have it? Of course, there are many fundamentalists who may write against us because they think we go against them. It's not a fact. They do not want you to change. They want you to belong to their clubs by which they could fight, renounce others. Whole world is created by one God. How can we fight in the name of God? Not only fighting, they are doing all kinds of things, you know that. All kinds of horrible things they are doing in the name of God. But after realization, we don't have to tell you anything, you just do what is righteous. You become that kind of a personality, so powerful as that. I assure you tomorrow, please, all of you come along again. Today there was a bomb scare. Imagine. What a stupid thing people are doing, wasting their life. For what did you come on this earth to create bomb scares, kill people, murder someone? I mean, we are worse than animals sometimes. Tomorrow, call also your friends, everyone. First time in England, we have spoken so openly about Sahaja. Because they always said, Mother, if you say something very openly, they will never understand. You should not tell them. You should try to pamper their ego all the time. And should not say much about Sahaja. Let them get their realization. And you will be surprised. The reaction was that we may have people about, say, 300, 400, out of which 2 would come to the program. Even Indians here are, I must say. Not in India. In India, thousands. Thousands have taken to Sahaja. Thousands. It is their heritage. But they have also lost their heritage. And they are doing such a tremendous work. With Sahaja Yoga, you can nourish crops, you can nourish your animals, which science cannot do. You have to play into the hands of organizations who produce seeds for you. Hybrid seeds. In Sahaja Yoga, non-hybrid seeds can be vibrated and you can get much more crops than you get from these hybrid seeds. Then we eat those hybrid seeds, hybrid animals, and our attention also becomes hybrid. We are no more natural then. How it is done is very simple. Because once you are connected to the mains, for example, this is connected to the mains, and you can hear me. How it is done? Because it's built in. It's built in within you, this power. It acts and it works. Only thing is that, first of all, this connection has to be little bit fixed. Of course, you don't have to pay for anything, one thing for sure. We have tried and tried and tried in this country. And do you know that England is the heart of the universe? Whatever happens here circulates. It's a great responsibility on all the residents of this country to understand what is their work. And they have to take to something which is so important in these modern times. Thank you very much. Tomorrow I hope to see you all. Those who will be real honest seekers will definitely come, I am sure, and bring your friends and invite them. There's nothing more is to be given, nothing higher to be given. It's the highest where you get your peace, joy, compassion, and complete security. This is how you enter into the kingdom of God which is being promised. All the promises are to be fulfilled. Please remember that to doubt is a very good idea because that means you are free. But to get self-realization is the best because you become absolutely a free person. Nothing can dominate you. Real freedom is only after self-realization. I hope all of you will respect yourself and come tomorrow, and I'm sure we will definitely work it out. You can see these people coming from different countries. They sing Sanskrit songs. They haven't sung today. Even the Indians can't sing like that. Adi Shankaracharya's complete thing they can sing. How can they? I mean, I had never known English people speaking Indian language so easily. In olden days when they were there, Raj, they had, for one sentence, you had to break your head with them. If you had to say, open the door, they couldn't say that. That's darwaza khul. So they used to say there was a cold day. In English they would say this, meaning darwaza khul de. It was so difficult, but look at their tongues. What has happened to them? There are many musicians, artists, who have risen very high in life after coming to Sahaja Yoga. So, for all the artists, musicians, it's a kind of a temptation I'm giving. But that's just a temptation. Actually, you have to achieve that supreme position from where you can give it to others and you are empowered. May God bless you all. Done.
So we'd like to thank you all for coming, and tomorrow Srimasaji will be here again at the same time and will give self-realization tomorrow. So if you can all come again and bring your friends, we'll be very happy to see you.
कशी आहे? बरी दिसते आता. झोप येते का? तुम्ही कशा? ठीक आहे. बरं. भेटूया. आता मी इथे घर घेते आहे शहरात. मग ते आहे पण फार दूर आहे ना, इथे जवळ घेते मी. Was that all right?
Was what all right?
was quite shy with this thing too, but I was rather nervous. I didn't know what to say. Write them and bring them tomorrow in, and give it to Dr. Spiro, and I'll cover them in my lecture tomorrow, please. Because today it was delayed a little bit, so tomorrow I'll explain to them better. Happy now? Good. There's a way out. Believe me. Now that occurs. अब हिंदुस्तानियों को तो आना चाहिए तुम लोग का ये हेरिटेज. बस मंदिरों में जाके वहाँ पे पीटते बैठते हो. अब अपना मंदिर खड़ा करो. और तुम लोग कितना इन लोगों को दे सकते हो? So, how are you? Bubbling with joy. आओ बेटे, अच्छा पा लेना है. बहुत सी एड्रेस.
We'll give it.
I have no address. क्या करने का एड्रेस लेके? यहीं आ जाओ, कल दिखा देते थे. See, I am a person who has no address. All the time moving. What to do? Thank you. How are you? Better now? As they told me you have been coming, I'm happy. Hello, Kuri. How are you? Thank you very much. What's it?
She was asking whether she could see you, Shmataji, but I said tomorrow you were very
Yeah.
committed.
At least 2 days you should do that, isn't it? Minimum. Let's see. Let's see. You all can get it, no doubt. But how many will stick on, God knows. You will, I know. Hello. If Mr. Srivastava wants to go, let him go.
Yes.
You know Dadu. Left side. Right to the left. No? Please put your hand straight. Like this. Thank you. Thank you. नमस्ते. आइए कल और सबको लाइए, बहुत सारे हिंदुस्तानी यहाँ हैं. कर क्या रहे सब? Thank you. That will do. I think I've had enough of it. Done. So, don't leave. All right, tomorrow. Get all your friends, please. All of them. Ah, got it. Yes. It's beautiful flowers, no? This is Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Should we go now?
I met it 20 years ago. You found here? When my first husband died, when my first...
Better. Better now. Is you feeling the cool breeze in your hand? Oh, see, your face has changed.
That's it?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mother.
Try to come tomorrow. Doesn't matter.
I'll try. I'll see if I can cancel the work.
No, it will work out.
I will be here if the work's cancelled, if not everyone cancelled.
All right, then you can join these people later on. Get their address. All right, you are a seeker. I'll take your leave now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah,
Thank you. May God bless you.
yeah, I know I have one to
Just to awaken.